Okay,
Set,
we're all set.
okay. I'll call this meeting, regular meeting of the IDA, board, to order now. Do you want to do the roll call, please, Maria?
Sure. Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Present.
Stephen Erman,
Here.
Madeline Fleury,
Here.
Justice Martin,
Present.
Archie McKee,
Here.
Nate Manette,
Here.
also present Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Paul Ellis, Rachel Child, and Kelly Brunette.
Thank you. Is there any changes to the agenda?
Jim, I would ask that the board considering adding resolution 2022-14 health savings account contributions to the agenda.
2022 dash what?
14.
14, got it. And that's HSA resolutions. Very good. Is there any objections to that addition? If not, we'll assume it is added. Public comments? I have one comment that I'd like to make. I think it's important to say this. Madeline Fleury did an excellent job with our retreat that we held in Malone within the past 2 weeks. And I think she should be commended for it, and therefore we can enter that into the minutes, Maria.
Yep, got it.
Okay, next, the approval of previous meeting minutes from October 18, 2022. Any motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for October 18th, 2022.
Second? Who is it?
Archie.
Thank you, Archie. Okay, any discussion? If not, we'll assume the question's been moved. All those in favor of accepting the minutes of the October 18, 2022 meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Bills and communications? Jeremy?
No, none today.
Okay, very good. Committee reports, anti-harassment, audit and finance, downtown revitalization and tourism committee, economic development committee,
Nothing new to report.
the entrepreneurship and agriculture committee,
Nothing to report at this time.
governance committee, Madeline.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just give a little rundown of our off-site retreat that we had.
Very good. Please
Just
do.
brief. I would say it was well attended by the board. We had 5 in person, 1 was on call, and we had 1 missing. It started off, I handed everybody a folder with the agenda and some reference documentation as far as board responsibilities. And that was kind of the main goal of the offsite, was just to go over how the board, our roles and responsibility as a board and how we function, and maybe going over items that can help improve how we function as a board. So I would say based on that, it went very well. We reviewed like the roles and responsibilities for the bylaws and for the PAL documentation. And we went over our meeting structure, how we can improve our meeting structures and getting our information in a more timely manner, and make sure that if we don't have our information, that, you know, we have certain rights as a board that we can exercise, such as tabling items or using our executive session in a better manner. And then we also discussed committee structure, which I think we decided we were just gonna keep that kind of the way it was and review it again at the beginning of the year. And then we just had this was all with just the board members, and then we followed up in the last hour with Jeremy to go over what we had discussed and talked about and maybe make a few changes to how we conduct ourselves as a board. That was just a general overview of our, and we had some wonderful snacks from some of our local vendors. So, and the Holiday Inn Express was very kind to let us use their committee room, or their, what do you call it, conference room. So that was very much appreciated too. So it was nice to have everybody there. I appreciate everybody's support.
Thank you, Madeline. Once again, a great job. Could I ask you if you wouldn't mind, please, to sort of monitor what we decided to do on meetings and the meetings and our committee structure. And it doesn't have to be any formal thing, it's just even verbal is fine. So I'll respond to the thing on the committees after the first of the year, when we reorganize for the coming year. We'll have to take a look at these committees and reshuffle if we have to, or add or delete any of the committees that have to be done over. So if everybody's satisfied with the way we have them set up right now, this is the end of the temporary testing period, which I think is good. So thanks again, Madeline. Thanks, everybody. Treasurer's report. Jeremy, Paul?
Everybody got in the packet the financials. Basically, I eliminated the monthly income statement because it really isn't really relevant, because it doesn't show a lot of information, because some months we don't have any real income. So the reports that you have are year-to-date reports, and that'll be the format that I'll use going forward. As I mentioned to you on previous meetings and in our audit and finance committee meetings, I've been attempting to connect with our auditing firm to address some of the other accounting issues that I need their input on. I did employ Jeremy's service this time because I wasn't making headway with the firm. Jeremy reached out, they made their apologies, and I have received since then a follow-up email in regards to a list of questions that I provided. That will help me go ahead and perform the next round of audit corrections in our financials. And then I will have to have an actual in-person or via Zoom meeting with our auditors to resolve the final set of issues in our accounts. I anticipate that we'll be able to conclude that before the end of the year. I'm going to plan on making a bunch of adjusting entries and do some of our closing entries before the end of the year. So when the auditors come in next year, there'll be fewer audit adjustments that they have to make. And hopefully the material audit finding that's showed up for the past 3 years will disappear from the books. I will also have a candid conversation with the auditor, when I do have our in-person meeting, in regards to, what other items need to be addressed in order to make sure that when the audit is done, that we don't have the material finding. So I think that's all can be accomplished.
Thank you, Paul. Paul,
only.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, do you have a question, Jim, first, or?
No, I was just going to ask you about something else, but go ahead and continue your report. I'm sorry to interfere.
The other thing, and this comes from meeting with a number of you when I first started, about investment opportunities for our funds. I have started looking into what options we have, and our options are very limited because we're limited by municipal law as to what we can invest in. We're limited to CDs, money market accounts, and those types of things, which we're not seeing. Based upon my investigation, there's not, you can get 2%, which is certainly far above what we're getting right now in the bank account. But I am exploring, and we are eligible to participate. And I did set this up in Saranac Lake when I was the treasurer there. a Treasury Direct account where we can actually purchase T-bills direct with the federal treasury. And the timeframes are very flexible. We can go from 4 weeks to, multiple years. I wouldn't be going any more than 120 days because I want to make sure our cash is fluid. But right now, the Treasury Direct rates are paying north of 4%. So we could, if we end up going down that road, we could generate some significant investment income from that. I'll have more information for the board at December's meeting. My goal is to really kind of get a handle on the cash flow going into next year, and then start putting money either out to bid in CDs or putting it into the Treasury Direct after the first of the year.
And I think we talked about, we need to do a little bit more research, like you said.
Right.
Then we'll take it to Audit and Finance Committee, and with the hopes of bringing it back to the full board for the December meeting.
Very good. With respect to that December meeting, report from Audit and Finance Committee, are we stacking up something there for, employee, compensation?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so in other words, that's
Plan
also
over the
new.
next month as well. Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. And I think that's the only other question I had. Paul, how are we doing with, coming up with, burn rate?
I'm still trying to get a handle on all that. I mean, right now, we don't have any money going out the door. I'm more
Right.
focused on getting the money that's already been out and recouping the reimbursement from the state. Both Rachel and Russ have been working on getting submissions in. I've explained to them that we'd like to try to get stuff, if possible, in for submission before the year ends, so we can get an estimate as to what our income is going to be from those programs for this year.
Good.
I would be, I'm sorry, it would be more EDC. My apologies. We're in the IDA right now.
Yeah. Okay, are there any other questions? I'm sorry, I can't.
On the treasurer's report, there's no comparison anymore from year to year. Are you gonna put that back in? or is that-
Yeah, I'll put that back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, we'll now move on to the CEO report. Oops, excuse me. Matter of item here. To accept the treasurer's report, will there be a motion, please?
I'll make the motion. Madeline,
Motion, Madeline, thank you. Second,
I'll second it.
Justice.
second, was that Justice?
Nate.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Nate, I'm sorry. The pictures are sort of small here. It's like, I have to question these. So motion made by Madeline, seconded by Nate. Any discussion? If not, we'll assume the question has been moved. All those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. Jeremy, CEO report, please.
Okay, so this is a direct outcome from the board offsite meeting, was adding the CEO report as a standing item on each
Right.
agenda. And so we'll check that box. Madeline's keeping track of our implementation. So there's two things I wanted to mention specifically related to the IDA, and then I can do another report specific to the EDC. The
Very
first is that, and I'll send pictures on Friday as part of our weekly update, but as we speak, we've got a whole crew of engineers and other experts out of the Bombay factory. That's where Russ is right now, kind of making sure everything's covered out there. Paul and I were out there this morning as well. There's roto-rooters out there, there's structural engineer, there's mechanical engineers, and everybody in between, lifting the covers off of manholes and doing lead-based paint and asbestos testing and everything else as part of the project to do the engineering assessment for the building. So Took a little while to coordinate everything, but they were able to get everybody on site today. I learned a ton just from talking to some of these folks. As experts, it's really just, it was amazing. And so, really helpful, and we look forward to their report. I think it's gonna help us be able to make better decisions moving forward about that property. And again, I'll send some pictures of just some of the work they were doing today. And then my other item is that we will be noticing next week 3 public hearings for the Nexamp solar projects that are proposed for the town of Fort Covington and the town of Burke. So there's 2 projects in Fort Covington, 1 in Burke. And so far we've got the Fort Covington projects are going to be at 2:00 on Thursday, December 1st at the Fort Covington Senior Center. This is something that the board members are welcome to attend, not required. I'll be there. We've got a statement to read. It'll be broadcast live, so you can even just listen if you wanted to. Happy to have you in person, but it's a part of the required steps for reviewing and considering the approval of benefits to a renewable energy project. December, and I'll send it out to everybody, but it's Thursday, December 1st at 2 p.m. at the Fort Covington Adult Center.
Great.
I hope to either today or tomorrow finalize having the time and date for the Burke public hearing, but I'm hoping to do it that same week. And then depending on the results of the public hearing, we would then probably bring an authorizing resolution for the projects back to the board for the December meeting. And what I think I might have sent it out, but I'll send it again, the cost benefit worksheet for these projects. And if you have any questions about those, you want to meet to go over them, by all means, just reach out. Archie and I are going to be doing that today after the meeting. And but it's exciting because these projects were first proposed over a year ago, and for a variety of reasons, they've been just kind of sitting there, and now it's good that they are coming back to us. Any questions?
That ultimately leads to a pilot, which ultimately leads to how much money?
Yes, both of those things. Yes. Revenue, they are revenue generators, that's for sure. Though they are the principal revenue generator for the IDA are these types of projects. That's my report,
good,
Jim.
Jeremy. Yeah, thank you. I have just one question. We begun to investigate the possibilities of buttoning that area up a little bit, the Bombay warehouse?
Oh, yes, yeah, we took a good look at the damage. It's actually very minor, and we have a plan underway to cover the entire garage door, so it will be pretty much impossible to damage it in the future.
Very good. How about cameras?
Cameras, we're gonna look at that. If we can find a way that doesn't cost a lot of money to run, because if you recall, we don't have electric out there, but there might be some options. There's a lot of technology changes over the last couple of years as far as wireless camera technology. So we're gonna look at, see if there's something cost effective that would work out there.
These people are
Good.
watching it, they're out in the middle of the woods.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
right, yeah, things have really changed, so we're gonna look at that.
Very good.
Was there a police report done on the damage?
Yes, I
Jeremy?
had them out there on Monday. So
Good.
we have an incident report. There's not enough damage to report as far as an insurance claim.
Mhm.
So, but we are gonna have our contractor out there in probably within the week, completely cover the garage, the overhead door frame with plywood. So that
Okay,
it's not accessible anymore.
but the
'Cause this
police
door was
having
not
that on
used.
record. The police having that on record, you assume it was state police perhaps, or
Yes,
would they be
state
doing a
police.
routine patrol or the sheriff's department, do you think, by there?
They do get out there on occasion, so. That's one of the reasons we wanted to make sure it was reported, so that they know that
Okay.
there's. Activity that they should be aware of.
That's great. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Old and unfinished business. If none, we'll, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
None, I was gonna say none.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, very good. New business. I think we've already discussed.
I just
solar
covered that
projects.
accidentally,
Yep.
so we're
Okay.
good.
Any other new business?
No,
If not, I'd like to propose,
well,
like to
Jim,
propose-
Chairman,
sorry,
I had a
other-
I'm sorry,
other than our-
hello.
Other than our added resolution,
Right.
the 2022-14 resolution.
I think I'd like to hold that to the executive session,
Okay,
if we could.
that's fine.
And I'd like to a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter and also discuss personnel procedures for our entire group under this proposed resolution 2022-14. Could I get a motion to that effect, please?
I'll make the motion, Jim.
Second, Archie.
Who's that? Who made the
Dan
motion?
Archie.
Okay, got it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
All those in
what,
favor going, yeah, would you please indicate the time?
Yeah,
okay,
I
it's
got it.
129.
We are
All right,
in
so-
executive session as soon as we move people to the waiting room.
Exactly, so I'll create the waiting room and then everybody's got to go to it and then all the staff will clear out for you guys.
Very good. Thank you.
Is there anything else you have to do on here? You guys are good for a while. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
My card will get back to you.
Granddaughter likes the sticker.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, those are awesome. Okay. Those are good.
Everybody else that has to go.
Than the other EDC meeting.
What's that, Jerry?
Jim, do you
Sure.
have a thing on the screen that says go to a breakout room?
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing. Yes.
Kelly just left. And
So-
this is a touch screen, right? I can hit join
No,
on
it
it.
is
and we're
not.
good? Okay, I'm gonna go to the, okay, let's see
And I
now.
need to send the FCDC office to it also.
Oh, you're set.
We are live, but we're waiting for Jim and Steve to come back.
Oh,
Was there a motion to get back out of session or did that not happen yet?
Yeah, motion was made by,
Steve, I think, or Nate.
motion was made by Nate, second by Steve.
Is that what it was, Nate?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very good. And Madeline has the time that we made the motion.
It was
What
two-
time? I'm sorry. 33, gotcha.
Yep. All right, we're back in regular session. Is there anything that has to be brought before the board at this point?
Yes, I think we would like, I'd like to make a motion
Go ahead, Madeline.
for the December meeting that we present a resolution completion for an extension of Jeremy Evans' contract as CEO for an additional 2 years to his contract, so it would be to 2025. But we'll put forward the official motion in December after the Audit and Finance Committee meets, and it's up to the financials to go along with it. So that's my motion.
Very good. Is there a second?
Archie,
yeah.
Thanks, Archie. Any further discussion? There being no further discussion, the board will, the chair will assume that the motion's been moved. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And Madeline, would you do me a favor? Or not Madeline, but Maria?
Yep,
Maria,
yes,
let's do a roll call vote on that.
okay. So this is to have a December resolution extending the CEO's contract 2 years after Audit and Finance Committee review financials.
Through, I think the time was through 2025.
Oh, okay, 2 years
Okay.
through. Okay, so Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Yes,
Stephen Erman,
Yes.
Madeline Fleury,
Yes.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes.
Nate Manette.
Yes.
Okay,
thank you, everybody. Any further discussion for any other matters to come before this particular meeting of the IDA? If not, the name,
2214.
hang on.
I'm sorry,
We have to consider the resolution 2022-14.
thank you,
Yep.
Archie. Thank you very much.
Contribute.
Yeah,
I'll present it for discussion.
yeah, 2022-14 is health savings account contributions. Archie's made the motion,
Just a second.
just a second. Further discussion? If not, we'll assume that the question has been moved. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2022-14, which is health savings account contributions. Roll call, please, Maria.
okay, this is for 2022-14 HSA contributions. Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Yes,
Stephen Erman,
Yes.
Madeline Fleury,
Yes.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes.
and Nate Manette.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody. Now we'll go back to the question of the date of the next meeting being December 14th, 2022. Is there a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting, the IDA regular meeting?
Do we have, can I just get an explanation of why we have resolution 2233? Also on the email?
That's for the E EDC.
Okay,
Yeah.
good enough. Thank
It's
you.
-32.
Got it. I'm slow. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn,
So move.
moved by Archie, second,
I'll second it.
second Justice, all in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, nay.